Hey everyone, it's Luna, and today I wanted to talk about a really important topic within spirituality that I think not enough people in spiritual circles tend to talk about, and that is spiritual superiority. This is something that I've seen both in religion and outside of religion, in just non-religious spiritual contexts. So spiritual superiority, for those who have never really thought about that term, um, it means that someone has a sense that my spiritual path or the spiritual things I believe are better than what other people believe. And I'm the one that has the truth and other people don't. And only people in my spiritual circle are the good ones, and people outside our spiritual circle are the bad ones, the sinful ones, the inferior ones, whatever that may be. And sometimes it doesn't sound necessarily that extreme and people don't express things in those exact words, but this is something that is very persistent in religion, especially high demand religions like the one I used to be part of. There was a lot of spiritual superiority in that. And also, a lot of non-religious spiritual groups and circles tend to form where they think that their ideologies are superior to others. And I think this is a real problem because being spiritual should feel unifying. It should show you that you are one with everyone else, and it should show you the commonalities you have with your fellow human beings. It should give you a sense of peace and love, and it should not divide people, because there's a common theme in a lot of spirituality where division is actually an illusion, because at the core of all things, we are one. A Christian would say we're all, creations of God. Some people would say that we're all children of God. What I believe is, I'm a panentheist, so I believe that we all come from the same consciousness or source that a lot of people call God, but isn't really a person. It's more of an energy that we're all a part of. So all of our consciousness are, parts of this more, the whole of the consciousness that created the universe. And I've talked about that in other videos. So essentially, I like to say we're all micros of the macro, and in that way, we are all connected, and we're all essentially one. I'm you, you're me, and we're everyone and everything, because we're all that consciousness. But see, other people don't see it that way. Other people think that we all have to be better than one another, or we have to get this special knowledge that other people don't have, and then we get to go to heaven or something, and they don't. And I've always thought that was so sad and pretty nonsensical too. For one thing, if you believe in God and you believe God is a person, why would a loving God set it up that way, where only some people that he's created, get to experience love and peace, and then, if someone just didn't experience enough to have the truth in that life, they have to go to hell or something. Like, it's very weird. Like I said, in a lot of religions, the spiritual superiority looks like only we have the true religion. All other religions are an abomination. So religions like this teach people that they are the righteous ones, and anyone not in the religion is sinful or inferior in some way. And like I said, this happens a lot in high demand religions, which are religions that have you follow a lot of rules and require a lot for salvation. But, I have seen it happen in just mainstream Christianity, where people say they're not religious, but they're just Christian. There can still be a lot of judgment toward others, and a lot of trying to convert others, because if they don't, they're going to hell. And so we're right and you're wrong, that kind of thing. But this can also definitely happen in non-religious spiritual groups or movements. And a few examples that I've given here are, one is secret societies. People don't talk about this very much. A lot of people think of Freemasons when it comes to secret societies, but they're definitely not the only ones. There's a lot of secret societies out there. And secret societies are not necessarily evil. I just want to point that out. They just have a lot of esoteric knowledge that they're sharing that is ancient knowledge that's been passed down. And you don't have to be in a secret society to learn this knowledge. But a lot of the people in secret societies, not all people, but some, definitely carry a chip on their shoulder when it comes to spirituality. And they act like they have all the secret knowledge and other people don't. You have to be in this exclusive group to learn it. You have to have worked up through the ranks like they have in the degrees or whatever. And like I said, not everyone in a secret society does this. I've met some very nice Freemasons and very nice other people from others. I mean, there's a lot of them out there. But of course, this does happen, and it's important to recognize that it does. So, another thing that can happen is like an exclusive spiritual group that isn't religious, but is just spiritual, may feel that they have inside spiritual information. They may have someone they feel is like channeling information from otherworldly beings. And so that they have like a prophet essentially telling them this information. So they're the only ones that have the knowledge everybody needs to transcend or something like that, which is just, it's ridiculous. Something that I experienced before. So I was vegan for almost 9 years, and I saw a lot of superiority within veganism, which also tends to coincide with like non-religious spiritual circles for some reason. There's a lot of people who are spiritual but not religious who are also vegan. That doesn't always correlate. I was vegan while I was still religious, so that's not always the case. But I did notice a lot of these vegans who say they're more spiritual, they do tend to be militant and judgmental toward non-vegans a lot of the time, which is interesting because veganism is supposed to be about compassion, and it was very weird to see. I was never that militant, but there were definitely times when I fell into that and found myself being judgmental toward other people who weren't vegan. And I have a whole video about why I'm no longer vegan if anyone is wondering about that. And if you are vegan, understand that I'm not saying that you are experiencing or showing superiority. It's all about a person's attitude and how they treat other people. So as long as you're not being mean to other people just because they're not vegan, then you're probably not showing that kind of superiority. So a few more examples that can happen within spiritual circles when it comes to superiority is, number one, gatekeeping. So some individuals may exhibit a sense of superiority by setting strict criteria for who is considered truly spiritual, which is so silly, and excluding those who don't meet their standards. They may judge or dismiss others based on their practices, beliefs, or experiences. Another thing is ego-driven teachings. So in spirituality, especially non-religious spirituality, a common theme is overcoming your ego. Some people think you should get rid of your ego altogether. Some think you should just learn to overcome it and live with it, but not let it control you. But either way, the ego is not really considered a thing you should give into all the time. But there are some spiritual circles who give in to this ego. And there can be individuals who use their perceived spiritual knowledge or experiences to assert dominance and inflate their ego, which is so ironic. They may promote their own teachings as the only valid path, disregarding alternative perspectives or experiences. So when they say, only my way is the right way, or they say, I have the truth and no one else does because only I have received this special knowledge. Don't listen to it. It's ridiculous. So another one is shaming and judgment. That can be a sign of it. Toxic superiority can manifest as judgmental behavior toward those who hold different beliefs, which is something that happened a lot in the religion that I was a part of, or follow different spiritual paths. Individuals may shame or belittle others for not adhering to their spiritual practices, leading to a divisive and exclusionary atmosphere. Spirituality should not be exclusionary. The only time it should is if someone's getting violent within a spiritual group or trying to intentionally cause conflict, but just excluding people because they have a different belief about something is ridiculous. Spirituality, like I said, should bring people together in spite of their diversity, and it shouldn't cause contention and cause division, because division is an illusion, as I always say. We're all one. Another one is narcissistic behavior. Some individuals may use spirituality as a means to boost their own self-importance. This is often found in spiritual or religious leaders, but not always. They may constantly seek validation, attention, or admiration from others using their spiritual beliefs or practices to assert superiority and manipulate those around them. That's something you definitely want to run away from, because it's not true spirituality. It's someone probably wanting money and power and attention. The last one is spiritual bypassing. So toxic superiority can emerge through the misuse of spirituality as a way to avoid dealing with real-life challenges or emotions. Individuals may dismiss or invalidate others' struggles by suggesting they simply need to adopt a positive mindset or practice more spiritually, disregarding the complexity of human experiences. So toxic spirituality, of course, doesn't just exist in religious or spiritual groups, but in many different settings. These are just some examples of what it looks like within spirituality, but it is important to keep in mind that a superiority complex in a person or a group can exist in many different settings outside of spirituality. The important thing to remember is that spirituality should be something that brings people together, like I said, and encourages peace instead of dividing people and causing contention. So I would really like to know in the comments, what things have you seen within religion or non-religious spirituality that are other examples I may not have mentioned in this video of superiority? It's something that I see all the time, where people think, only I could have the truth. I'm right and other people are wrong. It's something that, it's one of my pet peeves, honestly, because we're all just out here trying to figure out what's going on. And if there was a person who literally knew everything, what would be the purpose of experiencing life? We're all just trying to figure it out. And yes, some people could have ideas that are correct about what's going on. For example, I do all this research on spirituality to try and get the best idea I can based on evidence and science, and also all this ancient spiritual knowledge that people had. I try to combine all of that to get the best idea of what probably is true. But I'm not going to say that I know 100% that I'm right and that other people are wrong and other people need to listen to me because I'm the only one with the truth. Because I don't think that's true. I think there's plenty of stuff that I don't know. There's plenty of stuff other people know that I could learn from. And I think a healthy sense of spirituality includes humility and being teachable. You can have ideas that you feel are correct, especially if they're based on some kind of evidence. But it is important to also be open to learning new things, because part of spirituality is always learning and being a lifelong student. And that's what enlightenment is. Enlightenment, unlike some people may show in the movies or books and things like that, enlightenment isn't just a moment where you're like, oh, I understand all the mysteries of the universe right here and right now, and that's it, and that's my whole journey. No, enlightenment is lifelong and even lifetimes long, like through multiple incarnations. And that's why we're here in the first place, is to learn and grow and evolve as a spirit and as a consciousness. So I hope that makes sense, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like this video, be sure and subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another video where I talk about awesome spiritual topics like this. And let me know what other videos you would like to see in the future. And be sure and like this video and also share it so that we can get more eyeballs on this channel and we can get this type of thing spread to more people. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!